Welcome back to the channel, and in today's episode we're going to be talking about the Sig Sauer P365 X-Macro, my impressions after carrying it for 1 year and shooting it. We're going to talk a little bit about the gun, do a little deep dive into it, my overall impressions with it, and how I think it's performed. So without any further delay, let's go ahead and jump right in. So the 365 X-Macro is a compact 9mm pistol featuring the 365 XL length slide. You get a 1913 rail up front, and with a best-in-class 17+1 capacity, that's kind of what really drew me to this particular pistol when I saw it. I opted for the TAC Ops model, which gets you a couple things here. You're going to get the flared magazine well here at the bottom. It gives you this nice extended slide release catch over here. And you also get 4 17-round magazines at the time of purchase, and you get all that for about $800, which right out of the gate sounds like a pretty good deal. That's basically the nuts and bolts of the gun, so let's go ahead and take a little more detailed look and jump right in. Okay, one of the other reasons I went with the particular model, the X-Macro, is the grip module. I'm usually struggling with compact and subcompacts due to the size of my hands, trying to get my whole hand on the grip without like my pinky hanging off the bottom or having to run an extended magazine or anything, and you don't have to do that with the 365 Macro. Even with this one, as you can see, I can get all my fingers comfortably on there. The little flaring on the magazine well, in addition to helping with reloads, it also makes a nice little anchor point for the pinky. On the grip module as well, you do have this nice stippling, which is abrasive, but not too abrasive, but does allow you to get a really good grip on it. And if you want to customize the grip module even further, there are removable back plates, and you get multiple sizes when you buy the weapon, so you can get kind of like a custom feel going on with the grip, which really makes it a comfortable weapon to shoot. All right, moving forward from there into the fire control unit, you do get this nice looking flat face trigger. It runs pretty well. It is a little bit mushy. We'll talk a bit about that a little more later in the thing. You also get, again, the extended 1913 standard Picatinny rail up here, which gives you lots of options as far as weapons lights go. You can get your Surefire, I believe the X300s. You can get your TLR7 stream lights or whatever. All of those will attach right up there, no problem. So that's another good thing. Right, up top, you get a nice thin, it's about 1.1 inches, I believe it measures at. It's a beveled slide. You have front and rear serrations for cocking, and these are going to come with Sig's X-Ray 3 night-day sights. It also is an optics cut slide, so you have this RMS footprint that comes with the gun, which is pre-cut for a Sig Romeo 0 red dot. And I believe there's plenty of aftermarket support for these at this point. I've seen lots of guys running other red dots. So if the Sig Romeo 0 is not your thing, you can probably go swap that. That's the gun, I guess, in a nutshell, kind of looking over it real quick. So the next thing I want to talk about is how does it shoot? Right from the beginning, I found the Sig not only fun to shoot, but it also gives you a lot of confidence out on the range. It's got an extremely low recoil impulse, which lends itself to handling very good. It's definitely not as snappy as some other compact or subcompacts I've shot. Like if you want to think about the Springfields or like the Glock 43s, I definitely feel like this handles better. It is also relatively flat shooting, even though it's the non-compensated model. And in between shots, when you're running through the magazine, I feel like it comes back to a nice natural point of aim. One of the ways I like to test a pistol when I get it in terms of how it handles is just hand it off to my wife, let her put some rounds through it and see how she feels with it. With the Sig, she did go really quickly from squeezing off just a couple rounds at a time to some slow controlled rounds of fire to honestly wanting to just mag dump it, which does bode well for the Sig in terms of handling if it is a bit rough on the old ammo budget. In fact, she likes shooting the Sig so much that she really doesn't want to shoot any of the other pistols we have at this point, and I'm still trying to figure out if she's actually going to buy one of her own as she's claiming, or if this one has just been commandeered. Time will tell. In terms of reliability, the Sig has been excellent. I've put well over 1,000 rounds, if not approaching 2,000 through it in about a year of ownership, and I have had zero issues with it in terms of reliability. I've run 5 or 6 different brands and types of ammunition, both hollow point, ball. It seems to feed it all. The magazines haven't given me any issues in terms of malfunctions, and again, with the flared mag well, reloads come pretty easy. I did run into a few issues, but we'll say those are operator error. It happens. The X-Macro also excels for concealability. As I mentioned in my EDC video that I posted a week or so ago, I've been carrying this pretty much exclusively for about the last year. So with that 1.1 inch thick slide and at just about 6.5 inches of overall length, you can get it under pretty much any clothing and it just disappears. I wear it just under a t-shirt sometime. I've worn it with shorts. Can also be drawn really easily from appendix carry, and with the way I feel that this gun points naturally, it's very easy to get rounds on target both quickly and, most importantly, accurately. So I know I've been nothing but positive to the gun so far, and for the most part, that's really my impression. I am very, very positive and very pleased with this gun. But, you know, no gun's perfect, and there is a few things on it I think could be improved. As I mentioned, the trigger is a bit mushy to the break point. You know, does it really affect how well the gun runs? No, but I just think it's something that could be tightened up and improved on a little bit. I'm not sure exactly what options are out there, but I'm sure there are probably plenty of aftermarket things where you can change in the fire control unit and get a better trigger in it. Also, the sights could probably be improved a little bit that come with the gun. Again, I don't have any problems with getting consistent groups with them, and I feel the gun points very naturally, but SIG sights, they're not the brightest out there, and sometimes in darker environments, they're a little bit hard to see. If you compare them to some of the other brands like Springfield, who put some really nice, super bright sights even on their shit guns, I feel like SIG could have done a little better with this. And then kind of the last thing I said is I have talked about how much I like the capacity and I didn't have problems with the magazines. But one of the things is if you want to replace and get extra magazines, they're just a bit overpriced, I feel like. If you want the actual SIG ones, which generally I'm trying to go with the original mags over something else, you're looking at $50 to $60 per magazine. So, you know, something just to take into consideration. For what they are, yeah, they're great and they run well, but I'm not sure why that warrants a $50, $60 price tag. Let me go ahead and set this down because apparently YouTube's got some wild rules. We're not allowed to show inserting a magazine into a weapon. So yeah, let's not do that. In conclusion, I'm kind of the opinion that the X-Macro is the best all-around everyday carry gun that you can get for the money when you compare it to its competitors like Glock. You're going to get better capacity. It's a very reliable package. I like the grip module. Like I said, all the things I mentioned that just make it an overall great gun. I don't think you can really go wrong with it, but if you have a different opinion or you agree with me or you want to talk about one of its competitors, go ahead and let me know in the comments below. Maybe give the video a like and share it with somebody where you're at it. And if you're like me and your SIG has not gone off in your holster, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now. That's all I've got. We'll see you in the next one.